Neat. All right, we're both streaming.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
You good?
All right. So I have a playlist. Basically, it's just a bunch of shorts, and then at the end, there's something about how people are abandoning Microsoft for Linux, and it's like a list of reasons. So
No, I get that. That's for 100% certainty.
yeah. So a list video is good because it's already got kind of built-in times to pause and stuff for it.
Not what I meant to do. Crap. I'm gonna do that. Go back to OBS. We're good there. Okay. Gotta share your screen though, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Woo-hoo.
This is the one. Okay. And now I need that, the big one. I'm not sure this is the best way to set it up, but I mean,
I definitely
it'll
don't
work
think it
for
is.
now.
I think it's better with the way we were trying to do it. I want to play with it on my own though, with less when you're not
Yeah,
there.
the only problem I'm seeing with this right now is that our heads are really small.
Yeah, unless you go to all four screens. But
yeah.
and I could also turn off my screen. That would make it easier actually.
Well, I think actually the one big screen, and then if we would also both have our video, at least I can put my camera. I'll get the other app you told me about later.
Right.
We'll
That's
just
what
do
I'm
this
saying.
right now.
We'll play with it and see what we can do.
Okay.
But anyways. But at least this way we're not stealing someone's stuff by YouTube terms. With our faces at least present.
Yes, indeed.
What
all right.
am I getting queued with Prime Mike Tyson? Okay. Okay.
Anyways, about to switch over to the live stream.
Yeah.
So just give me a second, and then I think I have to set the desktop audio on. Okay. And take this down a little bit. That's just going to be what it is for now. Okay.
The game is the best $10 if ever spent. I really need to know, did he spend it? Was it spent?
Don't spoil the content, man.
I'm reading.
Stop.
Sure is.
Okay. So.
Oh, you haven't started it?
It's a little bit delayed, and I just want to make sure it is going first. At least I thought I did. Okay. Discord. Okay.
See, technically what we should both have is double screens. And then we're only sharing one of our screens, and that's the production screen. Whatever we have on that screen is production. And then you have the other ability to fuck around on the other screen without any issue.
Yeah. Well, and really we wouldn't need to share both of our cameras with Discord if only one of us is streaming.
Right.
But this is just easy for now. I'm just not seeing it switch over yet to the Discord.
It says it's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming.
On Discord?
No, it's showing it right there at the bottom of your screen.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Bright yellow thing says open widget.
Oh, so we should probably not stream then. So I don't have any viewers. Do I just use yours?
Well, let's find out. Let me see. I need a quick. Let me pull up the website.
It's not receiving enough video. What? I'm not sure what that means. Do I just use yours?
Yeah, I'm streaming just fine. I need a quick.
Is that my upload?
What I'm watching right now?
No, like I mean my upload speed, like with my internet, that's causing that.
Right. And it might not be that, because the thing is, you're up to it. That's the thing about all internet speed is it's up to. So even though you got 50, it might not be at 50 right now.
Yeah, but usually when I run the test, it's actually closer than I expected it to be what they were advertising.
Yeah. No, I'm sure that's true.
Okay. 2 buffers.
What I'm watching right now?
Bitrate is either set too high or my upload speed can't sustain the bitrate. Or your encoder is choking. Probably not that one.
Oh, Pete's sakes.
Or my upload speed can't sustain. Yeah, I'll have to do my own test stream, I think, to figure it out.
Yeah,
what I'm thinking is, if you wanted to just live stream and then I can clip it up later for re-uploads.
Yeah, as of right now, we're going.
Yeah, I'll have to do my own test stream, I think, to figure it out.
Also, one of the things I would do for you is set up your OBS.
If you wanted to just live
broadcast
stream,
out
I can clip 1080p. It up later for re-uploads.
Like do a lower bit rate.
Yeah.
And that also helps.
Do my own test stream, I think.
Also, if you did you go through OBS to the auto setup, because it will automatically pick the settings for you.
If you wanted to just, I don't think so.
I'd recommend that heavily.
Capture method is automatic.
Yeah. Sure.
But I'm not sure about what that is.
If you did you go through OBS to the auto setup, because it will automatically quiet my dang for you.
If you wanted to just, I don't think so. Okay, so I closed my OBS. Do you want the link for the playlist, or should I stream it?
We could do that, or we can also have it so that I actually like the idea of you controlling it, because I'm seeing your screen fine in Discord, and that's the reality, is that because we're doing what we're doing, you're going down and up heavily with the video,
right?
You know, because we're also watching it being streamed to your house, and then you're sharing it to me. Like, it's just what it's going to be. There's going to be a delay minimum.
Okay, well, I mean, if you can see this and you're ready to go, all right.
You subscribe to my channel?
I forget,
because you could easily just pull it up and see what I got, but it'll also be like a minute behind. But it doesn't matter, dude. Is this from Wii? What is he doing?
That's from that boxing game. It's just
bouncing around like crazy. What the
he's just like bobbing and weaving. Y'all remember when this NBA player tried to save a baby that was crawling on the court, but they wouldn't let him?
No. Is that even real?
No. It's just editing. I love this song.
Right?
This is my favorite song.
To get your home, there was somebody yesterday used to know.
Oh my
god. I was a little overboard with that.
Well, yeah, but that's
a Bears fan. It's a Bears fan.
This is a pretty wholesome clip right here. They're gonna go taunt this Bears fan and talk some shit.
Even though they're Vikings and Green Bay.
Hi. How you doing?
How you doing?
Oh my gosh, great.
Go Bears.
Go Bears.
Yes, sir.
They instantly are like, oh,
You
hi.
got him. You got him.
Hey, 이제 뭐세? 뭐?
Oh, wow.
Oh, look at him. Listen. He's like... You see a dog like that, you gotta scratch him.
Yeah.
You gotta stop scratch him. That's just the right thing to do.
I could not disagree.
Okay, this one, you seen these where you have these like floor mats?
Oh, you know what? I have.
Have you seen this one?
No. I don't think so.
Come here,
Check
guys.
this out. This is pretty good. Checks him. Just checks him.
Come here, guys.
Again, just play. I don't know if they looped it, but I'll watch it over and over again.
Oh my God.
That dog is just like testing. This is a good prank. You do that to your kids sometime. And the funny thing about that one is that he was like standing in front of a car when he turned his lights on.
Oh, nice.
So it was like really looked like there was a car there.
Right.
And then he just
really sells it.
Yeah. My cat
Smooth.
knows he's not allowed outside, so I have to race him to shut the window.
Oh.
Okay. That's it for the quick little funny shorts. I probably
All right.
should have paused them a little bit more.
No, you're good.
But,
You're good.
so we could do immigration and gumballs, or we could do 10 good reasons to abandon Microsoft.
I mean, start with this one, I guess.
Okay, it's a pretty heavy subject.
That's all right. I do heavy.
But so it's just about it's the world populations assimilated with gumballs. It's definitely way oversimplified, but
Well, that's what these are always going to be, right?
you know, it's going to convey some pretty heavy messaging that's pretty hard to deny.
World poverty. Is that true? Well, no, it's not. And let me show you why. This gumball represents the 1 million legal immigrants that the United States has taken every year on average since 1990.
I think this came out like 15 to 20 years ago. So something to keep in mind.
Sure, that's
Now,
fair.
who in the world deserves our humanitarian compassion? The World Bank has one measure of the desperately poor of the world. They make less than $2 a day. And how many people make less than $2 a day in the world? We'll start with Africa. In Africa alone, there are 650 million people who make less than $2 a day. 650 million. And in India, another 890 million people, desperately poor. China adds another 480 million people.
That's a lot of
Making less than
gumballs.
$2 a day. And unfortunately, the rest of Asia has a heartbreaking 810 million people who the World Bank says make less than $2 a day. And finally, there's 105 million of Latin America's population that are desperately poor. All told, the World Bank says there are 3 billion people in the world.
3 billion making
Yeah.
less than $2 a day.
I mean, that's. And you said it was 15 years ago? Like, what was the
Something
world
like that.
population at that time?
It was probably around 7 billion. I think we're close to 8 now, so
Good. So you have to be pretty close to 50%.
yeah, it's either 40 or 50% somewhere in there, but like that's a pretty decent chunk.
Yeah. You ever see the piles of $1 bills display? It's
For
very similar to
the
this.
to the national debt.
No. It's like piles of bills for how much individuals and companies and whatever are worth. And it ends with Bill Gates. Not Bill Gates. I said that wrong. Elon Musk. And like this is how tall $500 billion is.
Yeah.
Like from the next person, it's like over twice as high up. And they're like, we just want to display that if he gave every person $1 million that's below him here, he would still have, and I forget the number, but like a crazy amount of money. I was like,
Yeah.
fuck, crazy. Anyways, it's just I always like these.
Yeah, as long as you know I mean, obviously you know this, but that's all tied up in like stocks and companies. It's like
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah.
not liquid
No.
But yeah. So there was 3 billion, I think he said.
Yeah, yeah.
Less than $2 a day.
3 billion people who are desperately poor, making less than $2 a day. That's 3,000 gumballs. And every year, we take 1 million and suggest that we've somehow made a humanitarian difference. Of course, we don't pull our immigrants from these desperately poor populations, do we? These people are too poor, too sick, too disconnected to make it here as immigrants. We tend to pull our immigrants out of the better off poor of the world. And Mexico tends to define the type of immigrant that we bring here because the plurality of people come from Mexico. And Mexico is poor. How many people in the world live in countries that have average incomes lower than that of Mexico? And the World Bank tells us that that number is these 3 billion plus another 2.6 billion people.
And now, so like when this came out, probably most of the immigrants were from Mexico and South America, but I'm not sure if that's true now.
Yeah, I don't know. I up here it's hard for me to imagine that because up here it's all Nigerian, Liberian, Somalian, Hmong. But that's
and I think they're pretty much all of the immigrants are getting spread kind of equally throughout the different states, except for Alaska, probably.
It's possible.
Why would you go? Why would you come to the United States to move to Alaska? You know,
right?
Unless you're like defecting from Russia or something,
right?
5.6 billion people in the world who live in countries with average incomes below that of Mexico. That's 5,600 gumballs. And so what is it that the elites are telling us? They're telling us that when we take this 1 million immigrants, that we somehow or another are tackling world poverty. And we have to do it regardless of the effect on our unemployed, the working poor, the most vulnerable members of our society, regardless of the effect on our natural resources. Even if we went by the most radical proposals in Washington, which are to actually double our immigration to 2 million a year, which would totally overwhelm our physical, natural, and social infrastructures.
Well, according to that guy, so I mean, if we took in, I think during the Biden administration, it was somewhere between the most conservative numbers I've seen were about 15 million illegal immigrants.
Right.
And a lot of people say it's probably more like 20 million over 4 years.
I was just listening to Rogan and Andrew, what's his face today? He was his podcast today that came out. The guy who goes on whatever and is the professional debater.
Andrew Wilson.
Yeah, yeah. And they heard in the not just his, but another one a couple weeks ago. They were talking about how 90 million is the latest projection, and it keeps growing. They're suspicious that it's going to be double that by the time they're done.
Yeah, I really doubt it's 15.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. It was a huge influx, and nobody really wants to talk about it because here's the thing, though. What he's displaying is a really good visual aid to the larger conversation, right? And
yeah,
I have no reason to doubt his numbers. Like, even let's just say it was 50% of that. Okay, like let's be overly generous, and he's wrong. you're still talking about minuscule numbers, right? But he's also, I'm glad he's going where he's going, because it does. It does. Like, are you trying to tell me that our property values didn't skyrocket because of that?
Right.
Of course it did.
And the only jobs that I can find right now, it's either, like you have to basically give up having a personal life, or you're like making like $15 like 20 hours a week.
Wait,
or
are you
something
saying
like
that moving people in who are used to having to work like 60 to 80-hour weeks, and they do it for like less money?
Yeah, and that's a lot of the jobs I'm looking at are like 60 hours a week, and I'm like, no, I'm not really willing to do that.
Right.
Like, I could do that for a short amount of time, but I want to have a life as well.
Right. No,
and
I
then
totally get it, man.
Not to mention, a lot of that money is leaving the country as well. So
Right.
it's not even getting circulated in our own economy.
Right. I think we're going to end up in a whole world order at some point in time just to survive. It's the only way it makes sense.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. We just got out of the World Health Organization.
See how long that lasts.
There was something they passed, I forget what it was, but like basically they get to declare certain things that basically this was going on for maybe like 6 years or something like that. I want to say. Like, I think it happened while Trump was still in office his first term. But I don't remember exactly. But we were basically got into this deal where they could just declare some sort of like global emergency that would override our laws and constitution until however long they saw fit for that emergency to be ended. And that's a pretty scary thing.
Yeah, but
and not only that, but
it moved into that. I mean, and I hate to pick apart standing presidents. Like, I don't care who they are. I know that job's tough. I don't want to downplay that, but an insurrection act for some, like, being threatened, that's just another emergency way of getting more power, even if it's momentary. It's still that, and I really hope it doesn't become abused, and it's already questionable.
It's interesting because it's been used several times, the Insurrection Act, but a lot of people really want Trump to use the Insurrection Act right now. But they're like I think they're doing everything they can to avoid doing that and applying pressure other ways. So
no, and if it's needed, it's needed, man. I'm not saying that it's not. I'm
kind of like, I mean, I'm for it, but like if we can avoid doing it, it's probably better, even if for no other reason than just because of the chaotic narrative that would come up around it.
Dude, it's already chaotic in the narrative.
Yeah, but then they were like,
"See,
we told you."
You should
it's
live
like,
here.
No.
It's fucking stupid, dude.
Yeah.
I'm ready to move out tomorrow.
Yeah. People are just hyperbolic.
More or less.
We couldn't make a noticeable difference. And we may be really hurting the impoverished people of the world because the million that we do take are among the most energetic, often the better educated, certainly the most dissatisfied people that if they did not immigrate would be the agents for change to improve the lot of all the people in these countries. The true heroes in the global humanitarian field are the people in these countries who have the wherewithal to immigrate to another country, but instead stay in their countries to apply their skills to help their fellow countrymen. Unfortunately, our immigration system tends to entice these very type of people to abandon their countrymen.
I was thinking about that just the other day, actually.
What's that?
So when it comes to like if you look at what's going on in Venezuela and like Iran, more so Iran than Venezuela, but the fact that well, there's two parts to it. One is like if we are like bombing a foreign country, think it's a really bad idea to let people from that country into our country.
Mm.
Not because I don't have compassion. I would rather not bomb them in the first place.
Right. Yeah, of course.
But it's like, if you're going to do that, then you shouldn't just be like, have a bleeding heart about it.
Right.
Because you're sowing chaos and you're gonna reap chaos. And it's like kicking a bird hive. It's like kicking a beehive. I mean, like
Right. A bird
and
hive.
and then throwing the beehive inside your house.
I want to imagine what a bird hive is for a second.
Yes.
Just because I find them highly intimidating and I shouldn't, I want to imagine it's full of hummingbirds.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I was gonna say that's where hummingbirds come from.
Right.
The queen hummingbird.
Like, stop it! You guys are way too intimidating. It's freaking me out.
The impossibility of making even a dent is actually worse than it looks here. Because last year, when we took 1 million immigrants, these countries added, births over deaths, 80 million more people into the impoverished population. And this year, Congress is bringing in 1 million legal immigrants. And this year, according to the United Nations, these countries are expected to add another 80 million people. And next year, you can be quite sure that Congress, unless stopped by the American voters, will bring in another 1 million immigrants. And these countries, unfortunately, will be adding another 80 million people into these impoverished nations. We could take 5 million a year, but we'd never get ahead of what's happening in these countries. Not in this century. Don't you see? Immigration can never be an effective or significant way to deal with the suffering people of the world.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
And think about, like, our population in the United States, it's like 350 million.
Right.
So, like, we're talking billions of people.
Oh man, seriously.
It's bringing in people is, I mean, it feels good if it works right, you know, but it still might not be in the best interest of the people in those countries.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, with Venezuela, it's an interesting example because of Maduro and what he was doing down there, and everybody hating him.
You know, when I was painting in Iowa City, I worked with numerous guys from Venezuela.
Yeah,
they were all legal. They were 100% legal citizens. But when I asked them, like, why'd you leave? They're like, have you looked at the news? And I was like, actually, no, I hate to admit that, you know, but I was like, no. And they're like, oh, it's so bad. And like, I didn't meet a single one who was like, oh, it's going well. Or it's okay for some people. It's just like, no, we ran away. It's so bad we ran the fuck away. I was like, that sucks.
Yeah.
I legit get it.
And they're probably wealthy in Venezuela, or I would think so. I wouldn't assume it, I guess.
Told me that he had 2 houses in Venezuela before the government took him.
Yep.
Because the government took 99% of everyone's houses.
That's crazy.
Isn't that fucked up? Took them. Like, with the promise that they would be given finances that would equal the equivalent, okay? And what the guys were telling me, I don't know how true this is. I'm just repeating what was said to me years ago, so I haven't.
Yeah.
Grain of salt all over the place. But they were straight up saying, like, they were living in cardboard boxes when because they changed the dollar there, and the dollar that they were given in payment for their homes, basically it was quiet money, you know, was enough to get them food for like a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's crazy. I know a couple of people from Venezuela. I haven't talked to them in years, but we had foreign exchange students stay with us. when I was a kid.
Mm.
They were high school students. Well, one year we had the older brother, and then the next year, or maybe 2 years later, we had his younger sister.
Mm.
And yeah, but even back then, they were talking about how bad it was.
Yeah.
And how bad it was getting. And then he actually reached out to me. He was in the United States, and he was living here legally, and he was in a pyramid scheme trying to sell me energy drinks. So I was like, yeah, no, probably not, but I'm glad you're here.
Right. Do you remember
And,
when LLMs were pyramid schemes, not large language models?
Yes, that's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was.
It's a multi-level marketing scheme, okay?
Yeah.
That
Which
shit is
what's
so fucking
what's
funny.
that? What's that makeup brand, or was it Tupperware that they used to get women to sell to each other?
The makeup Avon.
Yeah.
And then we had the thing that Aaron's mom sold, which was it was the nicer Avon. But yeah, they're all. What was that?
Yeah. My mom did that too.
Yeah, what the
and
fuck was that?
I don't think she made a lot of money on it.
Some people made quite a bit, but not
I
everyone.
forget what it's called.
Gosh darn it. It'll come to me later.
But it's a smart business model, though. It's a smart business model. You
if
get
you're at the top,
the women to sell to each other.
yeah. It's
Whether
slavery with
Tupperware
extra steps.
or makeup. Yeah. But I just thought that was interesting. But yeah, I didn't buy any energy drinks from him. But maybe I should have. He shot me with a BB gun.
Give me your salesman ability, or I'll shoot you with my BB gun.
No, he shot me with a BB gun when I was a kid.
Oh, well, I still have him beat. I broke your shit.
True.
So
they have to be helped where they live. 99.9% of them will never be able to immigrate to a rich country. There's no hope for that. They have to bloom where they're planted. The only place that 99.9% of these people can be helped is where they live. Let's help them there.
Right, check out numbers.usa.org or whatever. I don't know what this is. That was the presentation.
When Islam countries welcome millions of Christians. Oh, okay. Fun.
Oh, yeah. I've seen a couple different versions of this seminar or whatever you call it, where people like edit the shit out of it to like add in a whole bunch of other stuff. That's yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like
editing for argument.
Yeah, making all kinds of accusations and stuff, just kind of lumping it in with this presentation, which I think gives it a bad rap.
Yeah. No, wait, I like what he said, because he's just coming at it with open-ended intent. I don't think it's meant to change your mind. It's matter like, I'm going to give you a visual that's going to be hard to forget.
Yeah, no, this is a problem that we need to solve.
Well,
that's, like whether it's
so you think we should try and solve it?
Well,
and I guess that if that's true, that's fair, but how?
Well, so okay, there's another actually really good presentation that I want to show you. I forget what it's called exactly, but it's got the best charts. It's got the coolest charts I've ever seen. But basically what you do is you want to basically raise, so you're not trying to get rid of hierarchy because that's just part of nature. But what you're doing is you're just kind of like lifting up everybody. You're trying to focus on raising the middle class.
Right.
And when that happens, everybody below them also gets lifted up.
Right.
And in these other countries like that are war torn and
but
chaotic, like, that's not really applicable. But
full honest question is like, how do you do that? Because we could use that here right now. Like, no matter which way you cut it, I'm pretty certain that the American populace has been heavily hit on many different facets, like financially and like just not just financially, but like even in the
culturally.
Yeah, in the ways that they survive is ridiculously harder to do than it was a decade ago. Like it's been pretty rapid movement, and
I find it hard to talk and relate with people sometimes who have a bitter hatred of their own civilization.
what do you mean?
And like, well, it seems like there are a bunch of people, primarily on the left, who hate anything that's Western.
Sure.
And so anything that's not Western, they support it. So, like, for example, they would look at Christianity as like the white religion. So you have,
Which is such bullshit.
You can, yeah.
Like just
So you
historically
can-
speaking, it's not. I'm sorry,
Right.
it's just not. It's black. It's 100% African. But keep going.
Well, so they look at that, and that you have basically free reign to criticize it.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have, Islam. They look at that as like a brown religion, and so you can't criticize that, because it's not Western and it's
But
not
see,
white.
just in what you're saying is the captivation of warring factions politically and societally that I think is the actual problem. And I was just thinking about this earlier today. Like I'm talking about Andrew, and as I'm listening to him, like one of the problems I think that whatever's podcast, first of all, the format sucks, but beyond that,
Yeah.
When Andrew gets a little heated, he doesn't do a good job. I don't care what anyone says.
Sometimes he gets righteously infuriated, but it still doesn't really help him.
No,
as far as the way
the
he
number of
appears
times
to.
I've heard him say things, I'm like, I agree with everything you just said, and I fucking hate you. You did, you didn't, like, but besides that, the reality that what I'm getting at is that I think that we really need to focus on the American people in a way that is actually uplifting internally. And I think what sucks about the way we're going about it right now, I feel like, is that we have a authoritarian behavior from our politicians. I don't mean one or the other. I mean it's all sides. Like, and that it's creating a polarizing effect that's not going anywhere. It's getting worse.
Well, the way I'm kind of looking at it is that the people overreacting and freaking out over things almost makes authoritarianism imminent.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what I'm saying. Full agreement.
Yeah, so like forget the politicians, just the spirit and the vitriol and the culture, it's almost making it so that we're going to have a police state to live in a peaceful society.
You know, I just realized what I said. I want to make sure that I'm very clear about it, because what you're saying I fully agree with. But what I'm saying with the politicians in that aspect is, it is my opinion that if you are of high enough intellect to deserve being engaged as the head of state, like just anyone who's sitting in Congress, anyone sitting in the Senate, anyone sitting in the presidency, whoever's sitting in the judicial system, if you are top level candidate for authority, I should be able to count on you for level-headedness dealing with whatever issue we have to deal with. And I have watched crazy and crazy and crazy, and it really sucks, in my opinion. I'm really frustrated about it, actually. I just think it's really annoying.
Yeah, so I think that's the end of his presentation there.
Right.
I'm trying to look up one other thing. God, what was that called?
best stats you've ever seen?
It was not the best stats, it was the best charts. So it was about the global population topping off.
Hmm.
And this is one of the best use cases of LLMs, by the way, is finding things that you're trying to remember what they were.
I thought they were so that you can get your friends to sell for you.
So what? Tupperware?
Yeah, whatever. Hey, if that's an LLM, that's one I support. Tupperware is a solid fucking product. It's exactly what you're buying, is exactly what you expected, is exactly what it is. I'm a huge fan.
There we go. Hans Rosling, I think it is. Maybe not. I'm gonna look it up real quick here. That's him. That's the guy. Maybe it was a TED Talk.
The best stats you've ever seen.
I guess it is. That's what it is. Yeah.
All right, hold on. I have to urinate.
Okay.
I will
I'm
be
gonna
right
play.
turn.
Okay.
Go ahead and start it if you want. I'll be right back.
Alrighty. This is a TED Talk. All right. Let's get that here a little bit. BMV.
His undergraduate student.
That's not the exact one. This one.
Oh man. Whew.
Okay, so I think I actually found a clip at least from the one I was talking about. But really great visualizations. So
Visualization is right at the heart of my own work too. I teach global health. And I know having the data is not enough. I have to show it in ways people both enjoy and understand.
it's very important. I'm gonna skip ahead to one of his charts here.
Life expectancy from 25 years to 75 years. And down here, an axis for wealth, income per person, $400, $4,000, and $40,000. So down here is poor and sick, and up here is rich and healthy. Now, I'm going to show you the world 200 years ago, in 1810. Here come all the countries. Europe brown, Asia red, Middle East green, Africa south of Sahara blue, and the Americas yellow. And the size of the country bubble showed the size of the population. And in 1810, it was pretty crowded down there, wasn't it?
And it's interesting to look at, so we tend to look at history through a modern lens a lot of the time.
Sure.
So, especially with like being critical of things like patriarchy and stuff like that, like in this time period, there was no reliable birth control and people didn't live very long. So, we all had to work together and do what the roles we were best fit for to survive. And now we have a lot of luxuries and things. And even though things aren't really going that well economically, we still have a lot of conveniences. And, we're not, I mean, we tend to live a lot longer than that.
Right.
But it's just interesting sometimes because people don't want to acknowledge that when they're criticizing the civilization that they live in. And they take a lot for granted.
I can.
All countries.
What was that?
Saying I agree.
were sick and poor, life expectancy were below 40 in all countries. And only UK and the Netherlands were slightly better off, but not much. And now, why start the world?
That's where it gets
Industrial
interesting.
revolution makes countries in Europe and elsewhere move away from the rest. But the colonized countries in Asia and Africa, they are stuck down there. And eventually, the Western countries get healthier and healthier. And now we slow down to show the impact of the First World War and the Spanish flu epidemic. What a catastrophe!
Wow.
And now I speed up through the 1920s and the 1930s. And in spite of the Great Depression,
I just love these charts, though. It's so cool.
greater wealth and health. Japan and some others try to follow, but most countries stay down here. Now, after the tragedies of the Second World War, we stop a bit to look at the world in 1948.
I wonder, though, why it is that those countries didn't progress along. Is it because they were being oppressed? Is it because they didn't have technological advances? You know, what is it exactly?
I mean, don't know.
Some of them, like, there's small bubbles that get ahead. Could it be that those smaller bubbles are oppressing their own? They're taking advantage of their own economies?
I don't know. Some of those bigger
Just a
Asian
thought.
countries, I wonder, like, how much of it's just the way that they're organized politically.
Yeah.
I'm just guesstimating. I have no idea. For certain.
1948 was
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. I was yawning. Shut me up.
Shut the fuck up.
You're right.
a great year. The war was over. Sweden topped the
No, but
medal
if you have any
table in
thoughts, you should
Olympics,
speak
and
up
I was
because
born.
we have to
But the difference
No, I
transform the
between
content.
the countries
But I'm
of the
trying to
world
catch
was
what he's
wider
saying.
than ever. United States was in the front. Japan was catching up. Brazil
the
was
red
way
one there
behind.
by the US?
Iran was
What's that?
Who's the red one by the U.S. there? There's a couple of them.
Yeah, if that's Japan, what's this one here?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't
Europe. I think he said orange it was Europe.
I think you're right.
Yellow was the United States, wasn't it? Or
No, America's was yellow.
yeah, the Americas, not the United States. I'm
Right.
such an American. But like red, I think. Which one was Asia? I think red is Asia.
Yes. That's why I'm
And there's-
asking about what the red ones up here by the U.S. What are those Asian countries?
That's a great question.
I'm just curious. Like, that's a
I would have
serious-
thought Japan, but if that's
Right.
Japan right there.
Right. Absolutely. Anyways, we're
Um,
at 1948. We're about to have some major things happen.
Russia, perhaps, is technically Russia. Russia is technically an Asian country.
Oh, I suppose you're right. I just don't think about
'Cause-
it. But yeah, you're right. Do you think they
Yeah.
were doing well at that time?
1948? No.
As far as life expectancy and earning?
No.
I don't think so.
No. Definitely not.
I'm thinking
Getting
they're
a
going to be
little
down
richer
the
for-
bottom left here, one of the big red ones.
Yeah. They had a lot of people, not a lot of food.
China, Russia, those big boys.
Yeah.
Anyways, what's he got to say?
oil, but still had short lives. And the Asian giants, China, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Indonesia, they were still poor
Holy
and sick
shit.
down here. But look what is about to happen. Here we go again. In my lifetime, former colonies gained independence, and then finally they started to get healthier and healthier and healthier. And in the 1970s, then countries in Asia and Latin America started to catch up with the Western countries. They became the
what I'm
emerging
saying?
economies. Some in Africa follows. Some Africans were stuck in civil war and others hit by HIV. And now we can see the world today in the most up-to-date statistics.
2009, baby.
Most people today live in the middle. But there are huge differences at the same time between the best of countries and the worst of countries. And there are also huge inequalities within countries. These bubbles show country averages, but I can split them. Take China, I can split it into provinces.
There's a lot of provinces in China. Can
Right.
you name them?
No. Oh, wait, yes, I can. Qingdao, Jingdong, I don't know. I don't
You
listen.
forgot Bing Bong.
Yeah,
Forgot about Bing Bong. That's the big one.
There goes Shanghai.
Shanghai. I thought that was a city.
As Italy today. And there is the poor inland province Guangzhou.
Shanghai
It
noon.
is like Pakistan. And if I split it further, the rural parts are like Ghana in Africa.
Damn.
And yet, despite the enormous disparities today, we have seen 200 years of remarkable progress. That huge historical gap between the West and the rest is now closing. We have become an entirely new converging world. And I see a clear trend into the future with
What you said earlier, converging world.
Yeah. I just don't. I don't see a way that it ends otherwise.
Yeah. Well,
And I think that maybe it's because I think there's aliens, but
yeah, I mean, I'm not going to rule it out. I'm not going to rule it out.
I feel like there's a pretty strong possibility that we got something going on.
You got some? You think they're here already?
I think that I think two things. I think they've been here long before my grandparents existed. I think they existed before recorded history. I think that if we were to say that we believe in the Bible and even there it states that there's Nephilim amongst us, what is an alien versus that? And we have talks about it in all ancient cultures of seeing things that are outside of our understanding of modern society, or even in recorded ancient societies. I think it's a mind-numbing thing to expect there's something else. And long story short, I think it's very much more probable that we've never been alone. We are coming into an understanding because we have better instruments for testing our world. Our science is
And there's
improving.
a couple of worlds like locally in our own solar system. They wouldn't have had to have come from other solar systems, even let alone galaxies.
Well, I mean, the real talk thing is the moon's hollow. They're probably just up there.
Dark side of the moon doesn't exist. But you think they're like in the backgrounds, like pulling all the strings?
I don't believe that. No.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. That's very possible. I wouldn't know it though, and there'd be no way for me to prove it, right?
Yeah.
So speculative thought process along the idea of already speculative concepts, I don't think is a useful way to have that conversation in a real thing. Now, if you're doing it just to have a mind fuck, all right, cool. I actually enjoy those. Let's go. But,
Yeah.
but that's I was taking it seriously from the get-go. So.
Well, I've been working on a sci-fi story that
nice.
Is kind of like that. It's not as much about like the story as it is like a cosmology kind of thing.
I gotta be honest with you, one of the big things that I'm super excited about and impressed by is the things that LiDAR is uncovering. And it's mind-blowing.
We're talking about the pyramids?
No, actually, I actually think that's false. I think that's because this is not quite ready for that to be done. But the things they're finding under the forest in the Amazon.
Ooh,
the city, like cities, millions of people resided in that area. That's effing crazy. The fact that the vast majority of the Amazonian soil appears to have been agriculturally modified to be superior. What the fuck? Like,
have you ever seen the live action Jungle Book from the 80s?
Actually, no. No, I'd love to.
I remember seeing that when I was a kid, and where he finds the snake is like guarding some like treasures and stuff, and it's in this city it's like an ancient city that's totally destroyed and overgrown with like forest.
Nice.
And that really, as a little kid, that got my imagination really going about like, wow, what if when they were in that city, there were older ruins that they that were ancient to them.
Right.
And I think about that like with the pyramids and the Egyptians and stuff too.
Yeah.
But I mean, there could be, a great catastrophe, and the one thing that I've heard argued against this whole concept that makes a lot of sense is that we would find ancient glass.
Mm.
If
Mm-hmm.
they had windows.
Yeah.
That we would still see that they had glass. So maybe they weren't as advanced, but that doesn't mean they weren't like sprawling, thriving.
Or what if they weren't the energy wasn't electricity, it was sound waves? Or what if
oh yeah,
instead of carbon based life, it was a different subsidiary of the same concept? The point I'm making is that the universe is diverse, and I'm of the belief that the Earth has witnessed multiple mass extinctions that we just
cataclysms.
we aren't prepared to actually explain. Like, what's crazy to me is the number of you ever watch the Y-Files?
I have, yeah.
So I've been watching
I think the puppet's kind of annoying.
Oh yeah, Hecklefish is crazy.
Yeah. Like, turn that shit off.
But what he does.
Sorry to disturb you.
Oh hell yeah, what's this?
Rice pudding.
Oh hell yeah, thanks, honey.
Yep, thanks for work.
Nice.
But he did a whole thing about the flood, and he talks about how there's over 300 civilizations around the world who have a flood narrative from about the same time. Like, that's an actual fucking stat. Like,
yeah.
What the fuck does that mean? And they all have this thing where they gathered animals around them in order to preserve the life forms near them and float and then go back.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You know about the Arctic samples then, right?
Maybe. What's that?
In Antarctica, however the fuck you say it. They're taking these ice core samples, and they can tell the patterns of that there's been ice ages and like warming periods and cooling periods, resulting in an ice age and whatever the opposite of an ice age is, and that's happened basically like a dozen times that they've been able to record.
They aren't recording it; they're finding evidence of.
Yeah,
okay.
But they're in the records from their research.
Yeah, fair enough. That's fucking crazy.
And like, if you think about that, like one of those could be a global flood.
Right.
Imagine that there was like 12 global floods already.
No,
you know what I mean?
Right. And the
it wouldn't have to be the whole world. It would just be like, a lot of the land.
No, if Antarctica thawed out, the world would have a huge amount of water go up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything about it. Like, it's kind of crazy to think about, honestly.
Yeah. I think I could be wrong, but I believe that we're actually in a cooling period right now.
Mm-hmm. Have been.
Find that interesting. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the guy's name. There was a scientist that Rogan had on that I was like, wow.
Well, there's two of them that are interesting. One of them's kind of annoying. The one I remember is Graham Hancock. I think he's kind of
I like what he's
Randall
doing.
Carlson. I like Randall Carlson. He's really good.
He was breaking down the last couple hundred years and how right now we should be heating up. And then, like, if you follow the waves of like heating up and cooling down over the last few hundred years, and he's like, this is normal. We actually should be warming up, and then we should cool off again. Like, this is what we should be doing. And
Randall Carlson does like the geographic like studies from like of the different land formations and stuff that shows there's like a ton of water rushed over this area and stuff like that.
Nice.
But he's got hours and hours of presentations and lectures and stuff.
Sure.
Always really interesting to hear what he says.
Right. No, actually, there's a few people I just make sure I listen in. I can't listen to every fucking Joe Rogan.
I never even try. But I remember Randall Carlson was on there one time, and Joe Rogan was like, "Why don't you talk to this one scientist guy?" And he was like, "Oh, he's out to get me and stuff." And then he called the scientist. Let's get him on the phone right now. And the guy just like tore into him, into Graham Hancock, and then Graham Hancock got really defensive, and it was pretty off-putting.
Right, and that I believe that there is real things that have been said against Hancock that are upsetting that he hasn't been able to get over.
Yeah.
That does not give you the right to just be an asshole.
Yeah.
People do it all the time.
I still think he's an interesting person, but he's not my preferred resource on the matter.
My favorite science thing of most recent time was oh my gosh, Terrence Howard.
Rings a bell.
He's an actor, but he has been spending the last like years and years trying to get scientists to talk to him because he has discovered in his mind, he has discovered all these scientific properties that people need to understand and know, because we don't need to be paying for electricity. We don't need to be doing, and like he goes on and on.
Is he the guy that makes diamonds?
No. And then they had Brett Weinstein come on with him. And Brett was like, "Hey, I really like your suggestions and what you're talking about, but there's a reason that a scientist don't want to talk to you is because you're crazy when you're talking."
Yeah. Right.
He's like, "If you could talk about it this way, we would want to listen." And he's like, "Oh my God, I've been asking for somebody to say this for years. Thank you." Like he was genuinely happy.
Oh, he actually took it.
He genuinely liked it. And I was sitting there, I was like, this is the most productive freaking podcast I've heard in a long time. Like it was actually, my mind was blown. Brett Weinstein is one of those guys that I can understand why people would hate him, because he's just so highly opinionated. It's easy to pin him down as X, but I love him. I love him.
Yeah.
But he's his own thing. But I hope that in my lifetime I get to see Terrence Howard have some actual things come out of what he's been talking about, because they were mind-blowing things, like actual mind-blowing things. He brought a lamp that he made that basically is harnessing the energy of the air, and it makes it glow. There's no batteries, no plug-in, no nothing. It's a really low glow, but it freaking is crazy. Nope, TER. There you go, down. Yep.
Oh yeah, that's how. Yeah, he makes diamonds.
See that at the top of Joe Rogan Experience? I'm serious. It's freaking great. Listen, this is one of the few that I listened to like 4 times, because he goes off for so long, it's impossible to keep up.
Here talking about math.
Yeah.
Bond to that and talk about how a lot of people have that sort of narrow mindset. You talked about identity.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He does it all over.
She's like, 1 times 1 does not equal 1. It's 0 or something, or 2. But it's one of those things where you take math and then like misunderstand it, and
so what he describes, and this is one of the things that Brett breaks down for him, is like, hey, what you're actually saying makes perfect sense, but here's why you're wrong. And he fully disproves it. And he goes, I like what you're saying. That makes actually a lot of sense. He's like, no one's ever stood up to me. No one's ever replaced my thoughts with anything else. I'm gonna have to do some research on what you're saying. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, thank you. But yeah, it's fun. It's a highly entertaining thing, and I'm grateful that I got to witness it. That was one of the few times I got excited for a podcast.
yeah, that's funny. Like, gotta. Do you want to hear this guy's conclusion?
Sure.
All right, I think then we'll probably wrap it up.
Is he going to tell us that we need to start eating dogs?
Just bomb the third world, basically.
Get rid of them.
Yeah.
We'll rehabilitate you in a
Aid,
couple
trade,
generations.
green technology and peace. It's fully possible that everyone can make it to the healthy, wealthy corner.
Well, what you just seen in the last few minutes is a story of 200 countries shown over 200 years and beyond. It involved plotting of 120,000 numbers. Pretty neat, huh?
Whatever. I don't know what the fuck he just said,
Why?
but I don't know, I'm just brain fried, I guess.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it took us a while to get set up, but it was fun once we got it going, and
Oh,
should do this again sometime.
oh
And
yeah. No, I'm
be a
always
little
down.
more efficient.
What I think I sent you a link so that you can access the stream video. And
Okay.
that should get you where you need to go from there.
All right. Well, I want to grab that, and I don't know if you want to keep the stream up or not, because we did watch a lot of other content, and that could be negative for your channel if it's like if we didn't talk enough or something, you know.
No, as of right now, I need to go through and delete a whole bunch of other things. What I got going on right now is BS. I just need to get it corrected.
All right.
Not a big deal, just what it is. So, but anyways, no, dude, good times, good times. Yeah. Till next time, I will see you later.